Welcome to the Next Level Life podcast with Christine Corcoran. This podcast is made for the powerhouse businesswomen who are ready to ignite their fullest potential. This is where we will dive deep into the mindset breakthroughs and sprinkle in some kick up the butt motivation so you can scale your business with confidence and clarity. Whether you're craving more income, impact, or inspiration, this podcast will be your ultimate resource for all things next level. Listen in as we have authentic conversations with game-changing female entrepreneurs as we reveal the secrets on what it takes to rise and thrive. So go ahead, ignite your inner fire, and let's get you taking massive aligned action. Are you ready to elevate? Let's go. Welcome back to the podcast. I am just coming off the back of my beautiful Thrive Beyond Six Figures event. Oh my God, it was so good. I had such an incredible time connecting with so many amazing women in business and supporting them and leveling up, supporting them in so many different areas of their business, but also looking at their fears and their doubts and the money mindset blocks. Like, it was honestly so fun, and also just great to be back in the room with people, right? Like facilitating a group. I got to create a really beautiful environment where they got to connect with so many people, make some new friends, which was just awesome. So I had honestly such a good time. I'm going to have to do that type of event again and again. So I'll let you know when we do the next one. So today on the podcast, I want to talk to you about scaling and the myth that people have when it comes to scaling around it being hard. And I want to talk to this because I actually think it's a different kind of hard. I don't think that it is as hard as when you're first building towards six figures. I feel like you're putting in so much work, so many hours, and you're doing all the things. You're wearing all the hats in your business. You're saying yes to absolutely everything. And it feels like a lot of hard work, and it feels like a hard slog, especially if you're trying to do all the things and you're not really clear on the things that are actually working in your business or what you should be doing in your business in order to scale, in order to grow. And the reason why I believe this is because once you are going beyond six figures, you've already gained so much clarity within your business. You're super clear on your ideal client. You're super clear on your offers. You most likely have already built a really beautiful audience and a community, and people know who you are, know what you do, and are already referring people across to you. Like, there's usually certain things in business that are already working really well. And often people have the mindset that, oh my God, if I'm going to try and scale and double what I've done or triple what I've done, it's going to be so much more hard work, because they're trying to quantify what they've already done to get to where they are. And often people think, like, for me to be able to scale this, I've got to keep working just as hard, or if not more, in order for me to achieve double the results. And I'm here to tell you that it's actually not the case. The reason why, I want to bust this myth for you today, because I believe that it's actually different work, and it's different than the hard work that you've done in the past to get to where you are today. It is a different form of hard. So let me explain this, because when you are scaling, you're most likely, ideally, you are working within your boundaries, you are paying yourself a wage, you've gotten to a point in your business where you're feeling an element of comfortability, and now it's about you wanting to grow and scale that, right? So what happens in this stage, it's not about creating more necessarily, it's about defining and simplifying. We want to simplify, figure out what it is that what is working, we want to double down on what is actually working, and then we want to try different strategies, because it is completely different strategies. And this is what I was going through with the beautiful ladies at the Thrive Beyond Six Figures event, because I was talking through like what it takes to get to six figures, and then after, when you're scaling to multi to seven, it's one of those things that people think like it's going to be super hard, but there actually are different activities and you need to actually do different things. And so when you're working towards six figures, you're saying yes to absolutely everything, but when you're working beyond that, you actually have to get better at saying no, and you have to get better at discerning what is for you, what's not for you, and whether it's going to be beneficial for your business. Because otherwise you can get caught up in all the shiny thing syndrome. You can get caught up in doing all the things for other people and it actually not benefiting your business. So you've got to make sure that you're really simplifying. One, you're really defining where it is that you're spending your time. You're acting more like a CEO, right? You're not being the operator in your business anymore, and you're shifting out of that headspace and you're coming into being the CEO, and you're starting to focus your time on the most effective use of your time. You're focusing your time on the most effective use of your time, doing the actions that are going to be the most effective for your business, ideally, right? And so we are shifting into a different space, right? So you are stepping out of the operator shoes into the CEO shoes. You're more likely going to be leading people. You're more likely going to be stepping up in your leadership with others and even to your industry. And it's actually less about the how and more about the who. So we're starting to shift and change our perspective and start going, okay, so for me to get to multi six or to seven figures, wherever it is you want to go, what needs to change? And we start to look at your business and simplify it. We need to get super clear on the exact things that are going to work and what aren't going to work. And we need to simplify things. And I was saying this to the ladies at this event, like when you see other people that you follow and they're super successful people, majority of them have how many offers on the go at one time? They've only got one, and they're simplifying it, they're defining it, they're improving it, and they're getting it out to the market. They're marketing it consistently. And it's one of those things that I think when people scale, when they're getting to six figures, they get so caught up in doing all the things, and they're trying all the different things, and they're trying new services and new offers and all the stuff. And they get so distracted with all the different things that are happening because, everyone's giving different advice. When really, we need to get super clear on what is the actual offer you're going to scale with. Now, I'm not saying that you'll only have one offer. You might have multiple offers, but you need to decide which one you're going to scale with first. And you've got to test the market to figure out which one that is. So this is where we get smarter and not work harder. Right? We've got to get the data. We've got to find out what's actually going to work, because if you've already got an existing audience, we want to research as much as we can to find out what the best next steps are going to be. And so you might want to test the market by, redefining your main offer that you want to scale. Test it, put it out there, sell it first before you maybe go and create it, or whether you go and improve it. And start to think about how you can scale it in a larger way. So obviously you're going to have better systems and processes. You're going to have to do things a little bit differently. But the beauty of business these days is that we can do this with so much support. And it doesn't all have to be on your shoulders, and it should not be. If you want to scale, and whatever that is, if it's multi-six, if it's seven figures, whatever it is, I want you to think about what are the tasks that you will be doing at that stage. Right? Not where you are now, at the stage once you have grown to that extent, right? How will you be behaving? What will you be doing? What will you be spending your time on? And you need to start doing that more and doing less of what you think you should be doing, right? And starting to actually outsource as much as possible, and making sure that you're developing a really amazing dream team around you to support the growth of your business. Otherwise, you will continue to be exactly where you are, because you'll continue to just be the operator and do all the things yourself. It is not useful for you to be spending your time where you're not the most valuable. So determine, where are you your most valuable? And what else do you need to outsource? Who else do you need in order to expand your business? Because this is where we need to call in those people into your dream team. And that doesn't necessarily have to be employees. Like, it can be contractors, it can be support, could be mentors, could be whatever it might be. Like, it's actually about expanding. So you're actually allowing yourself, expanding your dream team so that you can spend more of your time in your zone of genius doing what you do well. And I had a really big realization around this recently, and I feel like it's like this lesson that I just keep learning. I remember having a conversation with one of my mentors last year, and she was like, if you're still doing all these things, and she rattled off a whole bunch of things, she was like, you're wasting your time. You're actually doing all the stuff you should have been outsourcing already. And I was like, oh my God. And I had that freak out moment and was like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to hire. And so then I went and hired, and that's been such a godsend. And now it's like, okay, so what am I doing to get to the next phase? And so there is still work involved, right? But I'm saying it's not as hard or as laborious or arduous as what it took to get to six figures. Like, I feel like you, in such confusion and such doubt and such like, I'm not even sure this is going to work, and you're trying all the things, whereas you learn so much in the journey of your business, and ideally you would have hired some really cool people to work with and got some really amazing mentors to give you great advice. And then you get to this stage where it's like, actually now I get to just focus on what works. I need to focus on what are some of the strategies I'm going to put in place in order to scale. And so it's different work. And I don't feel like it's as hard. There might be actions that are fear-inducing, 100%, right? It's about you stepping up and doing things you've never done before. And that might feel hard, but I honestly don't believe it's hard, like arduous, like what it took to get to six figures, because that was like hard, and so many late nights and so many long hours. Like, often, like, what I did was obviously build up my business alongside when I was working in my corporate role. And so I was doing two jobs at once, and you're wearing all the hats, you're doing all the things, trying to figure out what the hell works and what doesn't work. And so I want you to dispel that myth. The other reason why I want you to dispel that myth is because if you believe it's going to be hard, guess what? You're going to make it. You're going to make it hard. Your belief system is going to cause you to act as if it's hard. It's also going to cause you to seek out challenges. It's going to cause you to seek out work that is going to feel hard, so you act in accordance with that belief. So if you believe that it's actually getting easier, if you adopted the belief system that, hey, now that I've got and I've built these foundations, now it's about working smarter, using the data to make better educated decisions, and getting more people on your team to support the scale, then it feels much easier and you can absolutely take massive aligned action, because I honestly believe like when I'm in my best energy and I'm taking aligned action, things are easier. Things are 100% easier and it doesn't feel like super hard work. And then anytime that I'm like now that I'm like, oh, this is feeling like it's really hard work, it's usually because I should have outsourced that. I should not be spending my time there, because if it's too hard for me, it's probably not a skill I'm great at. So I want you to really dispel this old myth that just because it took you such hard work to get to where you are today, that by you doubling or tripling your results, it's going to mean more hard work. I don't believe that. I honestly believe it's going to mean work. Yes, absolutely. It's going to need more smarter work. Work smarter rather than harder. And this is what I teach in my masterminds, because when I have women come into me and come into my masterminds and they've been working their butts off, they often haven't looked at the data, or they are focusing on the wrong things and they haven't been focusing on money generating activities and growth focused activities within their business. And once we focus on those things, that's when things turn around. So I hope that this helps to help you shift your perspective around what you believe is possible for you, because a lot of the time women get to a stage of business in six figures and go, oh my God, well, that was so hard. I don't want to keep growing because it was too hard. Whereas don't make it so hard. Don't make it so hard on yourself. You want to utilize your money to support your growth and invest in the right places. And you want to make sure that you are not taking on that headspace, that mindset that you think it's going to be really hard. It doesn't have to be. It can be more fun, have more freedom, more flexibility, and more opportunities. Let that be the opportunity for you as you move forward towards the next stage of your business. If you feel called to be supported by me this year, I have my 2 masterminds opening up in March. So if you feel called to be a part of them, feel free to head to the links in the show notes, pop your name down on the waitlist, and over the next couple of weeks, I will send you an email with details to add your name to the waitlist. I often have a very high retention rate from the past rounds because I only take a certain number of people, because there is one-on-one coaching involved. So that's why I'm already probably 40% already booked out. So if you feel called to be a part of it, your best place is to be on the wait list, because they get first access, and then that's when I then go public with it. So best for you to be on the wait list, plus you get extra amazing bonuses by being on the wait list. So check out the wait list pages so you can see what the bonuses are. And then if you feel called to join, add your name to the wait list, and I will make sure that I send you the details as soon as it becomes available. I hope you have an incredible week, and I'll speak to you all on Thursday. Thank you for listening, and if you found any value out of this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you get access to the episodes as soon as they are live, and make sure you come hang out with me on Instagram. You can find me at ChristineCorcoran_coach. Have an incredible week.